everyone, and welcome back to Mech Tech with Mr. Sullivan. Today we are going to continue our house series with house number 6. This house is going to be a Smurf style house, which should be kind of fun. It'll be a little different than what we've been doing, so let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so as always, the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to rename it to your name, house 6, and then let's go ahead and start. Alright. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is bring out a paraboloid. We're going to resize it. So again, you can hold shift and bring that out to a decent size here. Then we're going to duplicate it. We're going to set one aside. We're going to use that here in a little bit. Then we are going to duplicate it again and bring that over next to it, shrink down the Z. Let's change the color of it. Line those up here in a second, but bring it up so it looks like so. Kind of looks like a mushroom, which is what we are going for, because if you've ever watched the Smurfs, you'll know that they live in mushrooms. Okay? So now that we have that lined up, let's make that just a little bit bigger on top. We'll line that back up again, like so, and then we will group it, change it to multicolor. Alright, so we have the body of the house right there. Now we're going to make a window, and this window is going to be a little different than what we've been doing in the past, because it is going to be a round window. Okay, so now that we have this done, we want to make this one all nice and skinny again. And then we will change the height of it to match the height of the tube right here. We want the wall thickness of the tube to be 1. See how it made it all nice and skinny, but now it is now the same size as this. We also want to change the sides for it. 24, make it nice and smooth. Then we are going to take this one, we are going to duplicate it, and then rotate it 90 degrees. Take all of this, we're going to align it so it's all nice and centered. Change the color to the entire thing to brown and group. So it will look like this when you are done with it. Alright, now that we have that done, we need to make it to where we can round this side of it so we can place it on the body of the Smurf house. Okay, the way that we're going to do that is we're going to take a hold cylinder and a box, put them together. We're going to, before we do that, let's change the number of sides to get it nice and smooth. Grab both, group them. Now we're going to change this into a hole, rotate it 90, and we're going to resize it, bring that out, drop that down just a little bit. Go ahead and play with your sizes a little bit so you get that nice curve to it, and then we will group, and you see how it has that nice round section to it now, which is kind of cool, but you'll notice that it's a little off center. So let's grab both of those. We're actually just going to line it up a little bit. Okay, all you need to do is line it up on the Z, or the the X-axis here, and then we will be good to go. Okay, so group that. Now that curve is right in the center, right where we want it. That is good to go. Now that we have that created, we're going to copy it, so Control C, and then we are going to take the work plane tool and set it on the body of the house, and Control V, you'll notice that it dropped it, or changed the location of it onto that new work plane. So now you hit D and it drops it all the way down onto that work plane for you. And from here, you can get it where you want it to be on the house, and then you want to sink it down into the house a little bit, like so. All right. So from here, what we're going to do is we're going to do this all over the side of the house. So we're going to take that work plane tool. We want to do 3 windows. Control V. Bring that out. I think that's good right about there. We can actually probably sink that in just a little bit more, like that. And then we will go over to the other side of the house, right there. There we go. Sink that one in. Like that. So we're going to put the work plan on there, copy it over, and we're going to place the house or the window right up here. Let's tweak it a little bit to line it up and shrink it down. Grab that window. Let's zoom in on it so we can really fine tune where it goes. Change the color. Bring it down into the top of the house like that. So now we know that it is roughly about 16. So we're going to grab a cylinder, bring that out here, change the sides, make it nice and smooth, and let's resize that down to 16. Change the color, drop that down. That, and we're going to bring out this window just a hair so it will look like so. Then we will drop the work plane so it all looks like this again. We will group the house. There we go. Now we don't need that anymore. We need to make a door. So we're going to go to the text and numbers, grab the letter U, rotate it. Zoom in on the U here. Rotate it 90 degrees. Hit D to bring that back up. Change the color. Then we're going to scale it. So we can place it onto the house. Scale. There we go. And then we just want to bring it out to where we can see the end of it right there. That looks pretty good to me. Right about there. Group. Once that is done grouping, you have your Smurf style house Now, something that you can do if you want to, scale this down just a hair, and you can turn it into a hole, and then align it. That way it's right inside there. Group, and it will make it all nice and hollow, which is kind of cool. And then you can go through and hollow out the doors and the windows so you can actually see into the house, which is pretty neat. Only if you want to, not a requirement. But it's kind of cool if you want to do that. So go ahead, give that a shot, and hopefully you learn something. Good luck.